I'm actually not that surprised, but I am happily surprised how many people came out in the middle of a snowstorm for my dad's 70th birthday party. I'd like to start off by saying happy birthday to my father, who was born 70 years ago on Christmas Eve, Rosalie and Edwin Ryan, in Pittsburgh, Kansas. I've thought a lot about what I wanted to say tonight. It's hard to know how to put into words all of the things that one would want to say to their father on his 70th birthday, especially when your father is Bill Ryan. I considered all of the people who would be here tonight and the different capacities in which they've known my father over the years. Tonight this room is full of people who are honored to call you their friend, co-worker, colleague, Notre Dame alumnus, husband, brother, father, papa, and even shit-talking golf partner. You are joined tonight by co-workers and colleagues who have had the honor and pleasure of working with you during the many distinguished years that you devoted to the Acton-Boxborough Regional School District, and more recently to your interim superintendent positions, including in my own town of Groton, and the numerous boards and committees and clubs to which you so graciously donate your time, expertise, and seemingly boundless energies. Also here tonight are your many friends and family, your very dear Notre Dame alumni, neighbors old and new, a wide range of colleagues, and your infamous golf buddies, and those who share your devotion to political and community social progress in its many forms. My dad is also joined by his brother Ed and his wife Laura, who have made the long trip from St. Louis to be here tonight. My dad and Ed are not just brothers, but friends as well, who've enjoyed a number of golf and fishing trips together over the years, although I'm quite certain my dad would prefer the golf trips. To the dismay of their sister Becky, and to my father's grandchildren. They also share a genetic disposition towards practical jokes and incessant teasing, which becomes magnified when they're together. And I'm sure Ed and Laura's beautiful new grandson, Thomas Patrick Ryan, will share in this suffering once infancy wears off. Also here tonight is my mother, my father's wife of 45 years, Christine. Your marriage has always been an expression of love, respect, and devotion to one another, and especially to family. It is this relationship that has laid the foundation that anchors our family and has taught your children-in-law, and grandchildren the true meaning and the great gift of family. As I mentioned earlier, I thought a lot about all of the things that I wanted to say about my dad tonight. About how proud I am of him and have always been of him. About how many times people have come up to me over and over and over again throughout my life to tell me how great he is and to share with me their deep respect and admiration of him. I also wanted to talk about his unwavering commitment to social justice from his college days at Notre Dame and his involvement in the civil rights movement, to my parents' active role in starting the Acton Community Supper, to his involvement in bringing the controversial play The Laramie Project to the Acton-Boxborough High School stage, which I know he was very proud to be a part of, and to his constant and continued active interest in local and national politics. Throughout my life, time and time again, I have watched my dad always make the right choice over the easy choice. As many of you know, my dad is a list maker, organizer, taskmaster, and above all, a doer. My father is always doing something. If he is not working, or now golfing, or at a meeting, he's working in the yard, spoiling his grandchildren, running errands, attending to his family, washing cars, cleaning, painting, gardening, organizing, filing, doing the bills, vacuuming, folding laundry, washing the dishes. His work ethic is unbelievable and always seems to be done without any sense of burden. I have to admit, it was quite a shock for me when I was first married and realized that this was not normal husband behavior. We worked through that. He's much better now. But you may have noticed there are certain chores I did not mention on this list. There is a wisdom in recognizing and accepting your weaknesses as well as your strengths. Despite my mother's many fine qualities, he eventually learned to take the advice of numerous disgruntled repairmen who were called in after his failed attempt at fixing an appliance or attempting a plumbing job. Like the guy who came to fix our washing machine and found it tied together with ropes standing on toy blocks. With a look of dismay, he requested that my mother call him immediately the next time something broke and not let my father try to fix it first. I am sure this was not the first time he arrived to find a botched job, far worse than the original situation. And my father loves to recount the time he was at Ace Hardware buying a plumbing wrench and the employee said to him, "Bill, if you need a wrench that big, you should call a plumber." Over the years, I have also come to understand that my father is deeply committed to seeing the goodness in life and in other people. He loves to talk to people. He loves to know their stories. I cannot tell you how many conversations he has started with total strangers that begin with, "So, where are you from?" and ends with some connection or at least another great story for him to tell. And I believe it is because of this genuine interest that he shows in others and his desire to find the goodness in them that there are so many people here tonight that call him their friend. It is also how he got the engine replaced in his old Camry for free, and I'm sure he'll be able to tell you, happy to tell you that story if he hasn't already. As an extension of this goodness and attitude of goodwill, my dad really enjoys life. He loves his family, his friends, vacations, golf, good food and wine, Frank Sinatra, parties, great jokes, a story that pulls on your heartstrings or makes you laugh out loud. My mom and dad are the most wonderful, hands-on grandparents, and Papa loves to spend time with his 5 grandchildren, and they know it. He takes them golfing, to the toy shop, out to get ice cream, burgers, or whatever they desire. He is well-read and has a great interest in discussing politics, history, religion, and spirituality. He enjoys accompanying my mom to museums, concerts, indie films, lectures, and theater, as long as it's not to see the other William in my mom's life, Shakespeare, of course. And they both have always loved spending time working in the yard and tending to their many lovely gardens. The beautiful home and gardens that my parents so diligently tend to are truly a reflection of the beautiful life and family that they have created and surrounded themselves with. So when I really thought about all of the many things I wanted to say about my father, how much I admire him as a person and for the choices he has made, how proud I am of his many achievements and the many positive and impactful things he has done in his life, I realized something. I realized that while my father is a great man with a long list of wonderful traits, the most important and meaningful thing that my father has done in my eyes is the way he loved us, his family. And he has taught us the meaning of unconditional love. It is only as an adult and as a parent that I am able to fully realize how extraordinary this is. My parents have always stood beside us, no matter what, whether times are difficult, painful, joyful, or hopeful. The act of walking through life with someone who you know will always love you and will always be there, I believe, is the essence of unconditional love. By sharing the wonderful things in life, the joy is magnified. And by being present for the sorrows and suffering of life, the pain is shared and somehow eases the burden. My dad once said to me during a difficult time in my life, every parent wishes they could take their child's pain and carry it for them, and I'm sorry I can't. But he stood beside me and walked with me through that time. And he and my mother have done this over and over again with all of us, even when it was hard or inconvenient for them to do so. But of course, it isn't just the hard times that my parents have shared, but the wonderful and hopeful and day-to-day things as well. You have stood on the sidelines of sporting events, dance recitals, horseback competitions, school concerts, piano recitals, and so much more. Once upon a time for us, and now for your grandchildren. You have helped us open businesses and encourage us to advance in our careers. We have walked down the beaches of Chappaquiddick together and shared many other memorable vacations, and aren't we lucky that we always have so much fun together? You are always ready to help with a move, a painting project, to plant a garden, babysit, or bring us dinner, read a bedtime story. You have walked us down the aisle. You have held babies as they have come into this world and held our hands as we say goodbye to loved ones as they have left this world. I cannot tell you how many times my parents have simply asked us, how can I help? And all of this is done without expecting anything in return. It is in all these ways, big and small, that your love has wound and curled its tendrils into every corner of our hearts and our lives. So a while back, when my 10-year-old son Ryan, I asked him what he wanted to do next weekend, and he said, I just want to go to Granny and Papa's house and drink tea and play cards and swim. I miss them. I understood what he meant. My parents have walked through this life beside us, sharing this life with us with an open heart and with unconditional love. So the gift tonight is really your gift of unconditional love that you have given to all of us and that we give back to you. And we will continue to give this gift to each other throughout our lives, to our husbands, our wives and partners, our children and grandchildren, and it will be passed along for generations to come. Happy birthday, Dad.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Willem. Happy birthday to you.
Good, huh? My goodness. We all have so much to be thankful for. You know, I know, after 70 years, I'm looking to the rear view mirror, how many years ahead, but there's nothing more important than family and friends. That is the greatest gift in life. It really is. And so thank you all for coming on a bad night, on a snowy night. I'm very lucky to have 4 wonderful children, all my son-in-laws and daughter-in-laws, my wonderful grandchildren. Again, thanks for coming, and thanks to Ed and Laura for coming all the way from St. Louis. I know this was quite a journey for you, and having my little brother here, and all my friends, and golf friends, and Notre Dame friends, and friends of Nathan and Sue's, and the other kids. So again, thanks so much for coming, and let's celebrate.
Yeah.